Hi, and welcome back, and thanks for being here, and good Friday to you all. A whole lot of things happening. Graduation tonight for the Montgomery County High School seniors, and of course, it's graduation season for a lot of area schools. And keep in mind and remember, and I hope to have some video tonight. I've been making some extensive calls. I didn't get to go up to see the mock fatality situation last evening, but we're hoping to maybe be able to share that with you to some degree tonight. But just a reminder, if you're heading out the door for graduation at the Montgomery County High School, that indeed is what you'll see on the way up. I understand they did a very good job last evening. It's Friday. It's the last Friday in May. It'll be June when I see you next time. But on tonight's program, a couple of follow-ups. Also, sadly, I have to report a fatal auto accident that took place last night in Montgomery County, claiming a young woman's life. And it is amazing what they have put together, and it's also going a long way, I believe, tomorrow to go a long way towards putting Royalton back on the map, so to speak, as it may compare to what it was back in its heyday. The Rail Trail Festival is going to be a big deal tomorrow, and I've got a whole lot more information to share with you about food, fun, and games, and I'll go down the list of events tomorrow so you kind of know when and where you need to be if you're not going to be able to take in the whole thing. And understandably so, because it starts at 9 in the morning and it won't wind up until about 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And they've also got some weather provisions that I need to remind you of as well and let you in on. With all that, we'll get to our local headlines in just a few moments. A couple of follow-ups, though, will start us off tonight. As we knew last evening, after the recanvass results were in statewide across Kentucky, there was no change in the gubernatorial race for the Republican nomination. And that, as we knew last night, was that the only question left was whether or not James Comer would request a recount after yesterday's recanvass. With James Comer officially conceding earlier today, it has paved the way for the beginning of the next hurdle or round or election, if you will, and that is Democrat Jack Conway and Republican Matt Bevin in November, along with his statement saying that he wouldn't be foregoing a recount, a long drawn-out process by comparison to the recanvass, which took place statewide yesterday. Comer says that he enthusiastically supports the candidacy of Matt Bevin, and he also said that within minutes of receiving the results of the recanvass that he called Bevin to concede and congratulate him on a hard-fought victory, and he asked Matt to afford him the opportunity to personally contact a few of his strongest supporters across the state to, again, thank them for their support and let them know about his concession. He also says that he promised Matt that he would release his statement prior to this morning's press conference with the Republican ballot candidates. Throughout the entire campaign, he says that he has appreciated Bevin's knowledge of the issues, his work ethics, and his morals, and cited that he ran a clean campaign with focuses on the issues most important to those who live in Kentucky. He also said that he was proud to say that Bevin will stand up to the special interest groups that have held our great state back and fight the corrupt elements that still exist. Bevin has stated that his next step, or one of his very next steps, will be personally contacting and speaking with Mitch McConnell and Hal Rogers about the November election, of which they have already vowed to support the ticket. Poikolytic. I can't spell it, I know that. I'm not even certain I'm pronouncing it right. I do know that it was the word last night that would result in an 8th place finish for an Eastern Kentucky young man in the National Scripps Spelling Bee. After besting his last year's performance, tying for 13th, young Paul Keaton, a 14-year-old middle schooler from Pikeville who attends the Christ Central School, finished 8th last night when he misspelled poikolytic. Instead of giving P-O-I-K-I-L-I-T-I-C, he gave P-O-I-K-O-L-Y-T-I-C, and took a very, very, very respectable 8th place finish in the National Spelling Bee. Now, in case you're curious and didn't get to see it, Gokul Venakachalam and Vanya Shivashankar had worked very hard and came close to getting the national first place prize a couple of times, but this year, well, they tied. It was actually, they tied for the second time, I think, in the past 2 years, which is unprecedented because there hadn't been a tie for first place in 52 years prior to that. But for our Eastern Kentucky native, certainly a job well done and very well representing us on the grand stage of the National Scripps Spelling Bee.
Hey, Hey guys, Jason Weffenstedt, sales manager at the all-new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky. Where, as you can tell behind me, we're just weeks away from opening our brand new dealership, and we want to invite everybody down to take a test drive and be entered to win a free vacation package from Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville, Kentucky.
They're only weeks away from their grand opening, but they're open for business today. So come in and get entered for a vacation package to be given away at the brand new Hutch Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Paintsville. 297-5066. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. I'm still awaiting word, as I've been trying to make contact with local authorities throughout most of the afternoon in regards to the identity of the woman who was killed in a local auto accident last night. I'll have a report and hopefully some more information to add to it in just a few moments. So while we're still waiting on that, I do need to tell you about a whole lot of things happening for the first annual Royalton Rail Trail Festival. And it's already a given that this indeed will be the first of many. I'm anxious to talk with some residents of Royalton and the surrounding area tomorrow and get their thoughts on all that's been done in preparation for the first annual Royalton Rail Trail Festival. And I have plenty of time to do it because it's a days-long event that starts in the morning at 9 with an opening ceremony and some very special guests all near the Royalton Rail Trail head. You can see a lot of sprucing up still being done today. Local businesses and residents still getting ready, taking a great deal of pride and interest in the festival, which is going to be a major event. It's going to be right in downtown Royalton, right across from the Royalton United Baptist Church, which, of course, right behind it is where the Royalton Trailhead is. And then right across the road in this large bottom, that's where they've set up a stage. They've got amenities such as the restrooms that you saw there, the porta potties, if you will. They've got tents set up in case of some rain. That does include one over the stage. And they got some local residents overseeing it all in grand fashion. I'm sure they'll have an opinion tomorrow maybe about what has been done. And, of course, we were wanting to make sure that we found out about the latest developments about what they were going to have to offer. And with that, we've once again found organizer Vicki Doucette. General reminder and a big, pretty, fancy welcome. But remind everybody about when it starts and how important it's going to start off. The important note is going to start off in the morning.
Okay.
Smile. Tell me.
Our festival will be starting at 9 a.m. It's very important to be in your own time or earlier because Jane Bashir will be getting on stage at least by 9:10. Our festival will start out with the DAV opening ceremony and then go into her giving a speech, and then we will have Elaine Wilson, Executive Director of Tourism, will also be talking, and then John Short. And we go from that into gospel music, and after gospel music we will be going into 5 bands of bluegrass, rock music that will take us into the night. So we just want to welcome everybody to come out, bring a lawn chair, bring a blanket, enjoy the day, leave your ATVs at home. There will be no ATVs allowed through the gate except the 5 that is driven by staff to help people. Other things are no alcohol and no drugs allowed. So we just want everybody to have a good time. We've got about 7 food booths, 8 craft booths, and 9 activities. There's going to be quite a bit of activities for children that we've lined up. And as you see the stage behind me, we're going to be ready to go in the morning, so the people should be ready to go too, and bring all your family out.
And for more, here is the itinerary for tomorrow. Now, as Vicki said, the McGoffin DAV will be opening prayer and with the ceremony at 9 a.m. And then at 9:15, we also expect First Lady Jane Bashir, and then followed by Elaine Wilson, the Executive Director of Adventure Tourism. Also at 9 a.m. is the 5K. That will start over at the Royalton Trailhead across the road behind the church, and then, of course, be on the trail. At 10 a.m. is when the music will start. Also, John Short's going to be one of the representatives there as well. He'll be speaking after Miss Wilson. At 10 a.m., the gospel music will start. At noon, a whole lot of things happen. A bike ride. There's 2 going on at noon. One on the Dawkins Trail, and that will leave the Royalton Trailhead behind the church. There's one that's also going to take a road ride down Oakley, that also leaving from downtown Royalton. The gospel music will feature Anointed Hearts, Half Mountain Church, and Heaven's Sake. That's from 10 till noon. At 1 o'clock, they'll kick over to Country, Bluegrass, and Rock with Whitney Lovely and Nathan Howard Pulling Strings Band, Clyde Butcher and the Kentucky Mountain Boys, Turning Ground, Terry Miller and the Bridge. The Joseph Band will start at 8 o'clock. That's when the square dance will start as well. And then throughout the afternoon, don't forget the bike rides at noon, but also at 4 o'clock, a horseback ride on the Dawkins Trail. That will start at the Sublet Trailhead. That's organized by Ronald Reed if you need to get up with him and find out more. And there may be a stray shower or two that won't really put that much of a dent in anything if there were to be a little more than that weather-wise, and there is a possibility thereof, and we'll talk more about that in a few moments, but right now, maybe not so much. But there is a possibility. Nevertheless, if there were to be some really bad weather, they have been allowed to use the South McGoffin Elementary School for all the entertainment and fun and games thereafter. So there are provisions for some bad weather. An umbrella is a good thing to take, certainly a lawn chair, but certainly promises to be a big, big day in the city, we'll say, of Royalton. With that said, here's tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar. This birthday wish goes out to a now 3-year-old Dakota Barnett. Love Papa, Mama, aunts, uncles, and cousins. A happy third to Dakota Barnett, who looks quite comfortable with a whole lot of scenery behind Dakota. And other birthday wishes this Friday, the 29th, go out to Barry Owens with a whole lot of love from a whole lot of family and friends. And a happy birthday to Betty Jane Patrick from your family and friends as well. Happy birthday to you, Betty Jane. A reminder, the McGoffin County Youth Baseball Softball Organization is taking applications for the Babe Ruth League. You can find out more about in the Ramey Park. You can turn applications in daily at the concession stand, and you can also find them on Facebook for an application or to find out more. And next Wednesday, the 3rd, will be the 2nd-year anniversary of their reopening after the tornado at Pine Point Apartments here in Sagersville. Booths and dozens of booths with free food, fun, health services, and more. Elsa's going to be there for the kids. It's going to be a big day at Pine Point Apartments here in Sagersville. Next Wednesday starts at 11, goes till 3. Also next Wednesday will be the first day the Ramey Park Pool is going to be open for the season. And if you want to book a party as soon as possible by calling their number, that's 349-5102. The Ramey Memorial Park Pool will be open for swim Wednesday the 3rd. That's next Wednesday. And the Sagersville First Baptist Church wants me to remind everyone that Vacation Bible School starts Monday, 5:45 to 8 through Thursday night. Vans running nightly if you need a ride, kids. And if you need to wish somebody happy birthday, happy anniversary, or tell them about your next event through your organization, church, what have you, drop it in the mail. P.O. Box 1443 here in Sagersville. Phone it, fax it, email it, Facebook it, drop it off at the studio. Either way, we're going to tell everyone about it. Turning to funeral service announcements, the service provided on behalf of the McGoffin County Funeral Home. We have one announcement this evening. We actually have two, I'm just told. The first comes in loving memory of Jennifer Lou Gibson, forever missed by her parents, Brenda and Kermit Gibson. And I've also just received word of arrangements being made at the Sagersville Funeral Home in honor of 35-year-old Anna Mae Miller Scott. I'm told by the Sagersville Funeral Home that those arrangements are still incomplete at this hour, but to be announced very soon. I'll be right back. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. A McGoffin County woman at the age of 35 was killed last night in a single-vehicle auto accident. This is the scene as it was sometime before 10 o'clock last evening in the Route 30 area near Boardtree. It was a single-vehicle accident. A lone passenger, a female driver, was behind the wheel. And it's a case that local authorities on scene that I spoke with last night said that it might have been a situation that a life would have been saved had the driver been wearing her seatbelt. Upon realizing there was an accident, members of the area called 911, who alerted the authorities and the rescue squad and ambulance service. All responded and found Anna Mae Miller Scott, I am told by the Sayersville Funeral Home, behind the wheel, slumped over behind the wheel of the vehicle, still trapped inside. Equipment from the McGoffin County Rescue Squad was used to extricate her, and a helicopter was called, realizing that indeed it was a trauma situation. Only moments away from landing at an established landing zone, that helicopter service was waved off, realizing that she would be pronounced dead on the scene. It's believed that Scott, for some unknown reason, dropped off the shoulder of the roadway to the right side of the road, where she proceeded to drive for several feet until the car collided with a culvert or embankment across the ditch line. You can see where it came to rest. There's also a road sign there impaled in the front of the vehicle. While the accident is still under investigation by McGoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Reggie Gosser, I made several attempts today to try to get some more official information, but I've only been able to learn through the funeral home that the driver was identified as 35-year-old Anna Mae Miller Scott. Services are still being arranged in her honor at their facility. And while that accident, as I said, does remain under investigation, authorities are, the ones at least that I spoke to on scene last night, and EMS personnel are still convinced that a seatbelt may indeed have saved this young woman's life, a 35-year-old from McGoffin County. And with that, we're going to have to spend some time on the weather this evening, where we saw some showers. Well, they looked maybe more impressive than they were. I think official rain totals, if you want to call it a total, I have a tenth of an inch. I have, for the month of May here at the studio, and yes, I'm double checking, 0.5, I got less than 6/10 of an inch of rainfall for the entire month of May here at the studio. One of the driest Mays in a long time is coming to an end. So that 1/10 of an inch tonight isn't much, but by comparison, it's a sixth of what we've had basically all month. And at least it was something. Grass was starting to get a little bit tender outside. With that said, we've got some more in the forecast. And while you still see some activity here in the viewing area off to your west, you'll see another frontal boundary that's kind of moving on in and ushering those showers on through. And then, as we see these showers continue to roll on out of the viewing area, we'll have more to take their place over much of the weekend as another front will come through and better our chances, and also give us some cooler air in the next few days to come. So while we saw temperatures in the upper 80s today, the rain has certainly put a dent in things. We're back down to about 75, and we should fall on down to 64 for nighttime lows under mostly cloudy skies. Keep in mind, we do have, as you just saw, some showers and storms still in the forecast, the likes of which we've already seen roll through tonight, but more possibly to come. And then for your weekend, more to possibly come as well. There's a lot of things going on this weekend, and an umbrella will be a good companion to have. So for your Saturday, I think some patchy fog in the morning between 7 and 8 is a good bet. Otherwise, about a 30% chance of some isolated showers, then becoming scattered throughout the afternoon hours. We'll see partly sunny skies. We'll see some scattered showers and thunderstorms continue tomorrow night. A little more cloud cover tomorrow night than tomorrow day. Temperatures in the mid-60s once again. The latter half of your weekend, we've got a real good shot of some showers and storms. In fact, they're quite likely through at least some of your Sundays. Scattered and then becoming a little more consistent in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and cooler. Check it out, 77. A low of 60 on your Sunday. And we'll start off next week in the upper 70s again, but a 40% chance of showers and some storms will continue to linger on in the forecast. Mostly cloudy skies, a low of 61. There's a pattern here. Monday night, 61. Tuesday, we expect to climb just into the 80s, but also with partly sunny skies, a low in the low 60s. There's that pattern, a 40% chance of showers and or storms. Wednesday, ditto, a bit warmer, but ditto, 82 for daytime highs. We also think we'll see partly sunny skies and still a 40% shot of some showers and storms throughout much of the day, and that is the same throughout my forecast stops at Thursday, but it's the same thing, and it continues thereafter as far as this pattern is concerned. Same pattern that has wound down the month of May will wind us or kick us off in the month of June. So like I said, an umbrella, a good companion to have. And with that, I say only this. We sincerely want to congratulate all of the graduating high school seniors in our viewing area, and of course those who will take to the stage tonight at the McGoffin County High School receiving their diplomas. We also wish them a very safe and wonderful, not just weekend, but life ahead as well. For the rest of you, thank you so much for being a part of the program. Have a good weekend and a good night.